Turning now to the economy heading into this 4th of July weekend. The market's set to open moments from now after posting their worst first half of a year in half a century. That's because of inflation, with people nationwide set to pay 17% more this year for their 4th of July barbecues compared to last year, just as one measure of how prices have gone up. But travel is bouncing back, with gas prices dropping slightly after reaching record highs. Airline delays and cancellations are snarling hundreds of travelers across the country, thousands of them. The Washington Post headline says it all: "Welcome to summer travel. It's hell." Joining us now, co-anchor of CNBC's Squawk Box, our friend Andrew Ross Sorkin. Andrew, good to see you, my friend. So let's talk first about the markets. The worst first half of a year for the markets since 1970. Things get better from here?
You know, there have been historical parallels which would suggest that things do get better from here. In fact, the idea that inflation may actually get tamped down and that you could see the markets rise a bit from here. The question is, how much are they going to actually rise to the point where people actually are flat by the end of the year? I don't think most economists expect that. But as we do see inflation coming down a bit, getting tamped down a bit, there is that hope. Having said that, you mentioned it. You know, we're going to be seeing inflation in very real terms this weekend. I think, a lot of folks in Washington and the administration are looking to see what the polls are going to look like next week, in fact, as a result of the experiences that folks have going out, buying food, getting on airplanes, all that travel that you talked about, the travel from hell, and how they feel about where our economy is, because they're going to feel it in a way that I'm not sure people even appreciate just yet.
So, Andrew, on the question of inflation, there were some numbers that came out this morning from Europe. The Eurozone is up to 8.6% inflation, matching where the United States is right now. Obviously, there's a lot of pressure on this administration to do something about it. They say it's Putin's price hike. Yes, the war is part of the problem, but there's a lot else that goes into it. What are the hopes for people watching going into this 4th of July weekend that it may begin to tick down? We've seen a little tick down in some early indicators, gas prices coming down slightly. What else can we look to?
There are signs that things are going to tick down. You're also, by the way, seeing that there have been retailers, unfortunately, that have actually bought too much merchandise that people aren't buying. That's going to go on sale. That's going to push prices down for certain types of things. So I think you're going to start to see that. There's a lot more chips coming online. We talked about the COVID restrictions in China perhaps getting lifted or at least easing up a bit. That should help on the manufacturing side. There are things that are happening, and by this fall, I do think we're going to see that inflation looks a little bit better. Having said that, interestingly, the American Airlines pilots are in the middle of renegotiating their contracts. That would help how much money they're getting paid, but it's a lot more than before. In some cases, if you're a top pilot at American Airlines flying a wide-body plane, top captain's going to be being paid about $425,000, $64,000 increase. That's great for that pilot, and I appreciate all pilots, especially because when I'm flying. But those are going to get passed on to consumers in the cost of travel, and people need to understand those dynamics.
Nice catch there, Andrew. Be nice to your pilots.
Always be nice to your pilot. Always be nice to your pilot.
Before I let you go, Andrew, let me ask you about this Supreme Court decision and the EPA that came down yesterday. A boon to the fossil fuel industry. But basically, the bottom line is that the Supreme Court basically says the EPA has limits to the restrictions it can put on power plants and what they spout up into the atmosphere. What does this mean for, obviously, it has implications for the environment, but also for the economy and for business?
Well, I think what it does mean is it's going to create some uncertainty for a lot of companies across the country that have made various pledges around carbon emissions and the like, and what they may or may not do as a result of it. It also creates a whole nother level of question about disclosure by corporate America about carbon. The SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, has been pushing companies and been talking about creating requirements for companies to disclose what their carbon emissions are. That would, of course, potentially change the dynamic with how companies approach carbon. If, in fact, this ruling changes that dynamic, which is to say, does the SEC back off of those disclosure requirements? Does that then loosen up the way corporations think about this? all of that's now in play in a way that it wasn't just a day ago.
Yeah, and obviously this hurts the Biden administration, which has made a big pledge and a big push to turn the economy green and get rid of all these fossil fuels. Andrew Ross Sorkin, always good to see you. Enjoy the weekend. We'll see you soon.
Have a great weekend, my friend.
You too. Happy 4th. Coming up next on Morning Joe, with the war in Ukraine now stretching into day 128, Ukraine is facing one of the most crucial periods since the invasion began. What exactly is the path forward as Russia again attacks civilian targets? Retired Admiral James Stavridis will be here next to break it all down.